You're live with Lucy Hawkins. In a rare U-turn last month, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi agreed to scrap the contentious new laws. But the farmers had until now continued their agitation, mainly centred on the outskirts of the capital, Delhi. So let's take you live to Delhi now and join our correspondent there, Vineet Kari, who is there. Vineet, why have the farmers decided to stop their protest today?
Yes, they have decided to suspend their protest. They're saying they're not cancelling it, but they've decided to suspend this protest because more or less all the demands that they had placed before the government has conceded to all the demands, and there's just one issue which they've formed a committee, which is the minimum support price for the farmers. But other than that, most of the issues they say they have been resolved. But they're also saying, the farmers leaders are also saying that they will keep a watch on the government, whether it lives up to its promise, for instance, of withdrawing all the police cases that had been lodged against the farmers. And if the government does not keep up or lives up to its promise, they'll come back onto the streets and they'll resume their protests. They're saying they're keeping an eye, but for the time being, they've decided to go back. This place is like a mini settlement, and on the 11th of December, the farmers say that they'll start returning to their homes.
Where is public support on this, Vineet? Do the farmers have the backing of the general public?
Depends who you are talking to. If you speak to a government supporter, and this country is also like divided down the middle on this. If you speak to a government supporter, the farmers are seen as a nuisance, and they say that the government is trying to do some good for the farmers. But if you speak to people who are sympathetic to the interests of farmers, they would say that the farm laws were against the well-being of the farmers. They would have become vulnerable to big companies. So it all depends who you speak to in the present circumstances.
Vineet, thanks so much for joining us from Delhi there, from where the farmers are camped out.